Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACCUPLACER Math Tutoring. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful and freakish type of Friday. So, right now, we are going to go back to the basics. I keep seeing this as a problem. So I guess I got to be the one that has to adjust it. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing mixed numbers. So I'm going to be real and truthful with you. I really want those that really needs assistance with this to stay on this live. Or if you're just kind of curious of how I'm going to break it down, you can stay on this live. This is not a live for someone that's taking Calc 3. That's just like, this is stupid, this is this. Well, guess what? These are some of the things that a lot of people are struggling with, and it's on the GED. It's on the ASVAB. It's in the ACCUPLACER. It's for those students that are taking Algebra 1 or even pre-algebra. Guys, school is about to start before you know it, so you need to refresh your memory on this. And this is something you cannot skate over. I don't want to hear, well, when are we ever going to use fractions? You use fractions all the time. That's how you figure out how many people are getting an even amount of stuff. How do you figure out how many toys should go into the gift bags? You should be figuring out how many people you can invite to a party, how many people could sit at a table at your wedding. All of this stuff is fractions. So this is the live for you that you struggle with trying to figure out what should the denominator be, how to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction, all of that, okay? But we're really going to work on how to add it, how to subtract it, multiply, and divide those mixed numbers. If this sounds like something that will be entertaining for you, go ahead and click on the like button. Let's go. Let's light this place up. I want to get started when it is 1K. So we got 20 people here. Start tapping. Here we go. Okay, we got 17. I chased some people away. That's okay. But 5 of their friends just joined on in. So if mixed numbers is your struggle, but 5 of their friends just joined on in. So if mixed numbers is your struggle, if mixed numbers, you are just like, I don't know how to do this, on in. So if mixed numbers is your struggle, if mixed numbers, you are just like, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to instruct my child in order for them to understand this. This is the live for you. So go ahead, let's get started. It's early on a Friday. You're probably saying, Audrey, it's still the summer. But a lot of people are still taking classes. Some of you guys probably already saying, Audrey, it's still the summer. But a lot of people are still taking classes. Some of you guys probably already took finals sometime either Wednesday or Thursday of this week, which is awesome. But if your child needs help, or maybe even you are taking summer reading courses or summer reading packets and you forgot that you're supposed to do that, well, if you need help with that, just reach out and we'll be able to break all those. Go ahead and make it rain up in here. There's 44 people that's in the live, 41 that time chased away. But if you know of anyone that needs some assistance with this, let's get it. Let's go. So I will get started when we got 1K, and I will wait until we get ourselves situated. So hopefully everyone's coming in here. Thank you for joining, guys. Seeing quite a few coming in, coming out. Hey, Chantal. It's been forever. Okay, hello, Michael. Interesting photo. Okay, no fluff healing. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for popping in. Let's see if we can get all these concepts situated right here and now and be able to feel comfortable from this point on. All right, we're almost there. Just keep mad tapping, mad tap. right. Well, hello. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for joining. I know it's probably like your lunch break, and you're probably saying, why is this on my FYP? Well, I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. So for those that don't know me, my name is Audrey Codner, and I used to be a classroom teacher for over 22 years. Yeah, I was in the trenches. So all of a sudden I just said, you know what? I'm tired of the emails about meetings. I'm tired about the meetings about emails. And then I decided, let me see if I can teach the masses a little bit of math. Build up your confidence so you can advance and grow. So no more, oh, I have math phobia. Nope, it's not a real thing, okay? It's because you didn't have someone to help break concepts down. So you'll be able to ask those questions. Be encouraged to ask questions so you can get the understanding. When we were growing up, it was kind of a little bit taboo to ask questions. So now you're older, let's ask those questions. All right, yay, thank you so much. All right, so when we're talking about mixed numbers, so when I say mixed numbers, it's the sum of the whole number and a fraction. So if we take a look at this, we have two wholes, and then this one we have 3. I know it looks kind of funky, but 3 out of the 5 that is taken. If you want to think about pizza, you want to think about cakes and all this other stuff. If we wanted to, we can just add it to give you, 2 3/5. But what happens if I wanted to change that to improper fraction? Now, if I wanted to change it to improper fraction, that means I need to have a denominator of 5. So I could have my mixed number be 2 3/5. Okay? Or I can change that to an improper fraction. Why is it every Friday? I know. I'll be back. Okay. Love you. All right. I swear, I think she does it every Friday. My cat likes to come in. All right. So if I wanted to, I can make these two wholes into fractions. But if I need to have a common denominator of 5, why not make this 5 out of 5 and make this 5 out of 5? So when I combine it with my 3 out of 5, I will get my lovely 13 out of 5. Not 13 out of 15, because we're not doing anything with the denominators. We're just trying to rearrange it so we can have a common denominator. So a lot of people usually struggle with, I don't know what I should do. How did you get the 5s? Well, if I want to have a common denominator of 5, that means both of these holes, not hoes, have to have 5s in my denominator, okay? But in order for me to have it as a whole number, that means I need something divided by 5 to give me 1. If I have 5 out of 5 slices, I will get my whole. Now, if they already give you 5, if I have 5 out of 5 slices, I will get my whole. Now, if they already give you the mixed number, this is what we have to do. We're going to take our denominator by the whole number. We're going to get an answer. Then we're going to take that answer and add it to the numerator. So you have 5 times 2, that gives me 10, plus the 3 will give me 13. And you always put it over what the denominator of your fraction is. Okay? So if they give you, they say, turn this into a mixed number. If they give it to you as a picture, just make your wholes into fractions, okay? And what tells you what fraction it should be is look at the denominator of your fraction so you know what you should be dividing. Then you're going to have your common denominator, and then you add your numerators, and you keep it under the same denominator. So if they give it to you as a mixed number, you take the denominator, multiply by the whole number, take that answer, add to the numerator to write as your new numerator, and you keep the denominator the same. Okay? All right. Hey, Ohio, how are you? Okay, so let me see if I'm missing anyone else. Just wanted to say hello and hoys. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for joining, guys. I know it's not easy. It's a Friday. You want to sit and chill. Okay. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you, Logan. Thank you. Is it Maya? Maya? Okay. Yeah, missing my 1 p.m. lives? I know. Because I know I'm going to be 4/4. I have been... Okay. Yeah, missing my 1 p.m. lives? I know. Because I know I'm going to be 4/4. I have been tutoring like there is no tomorrow. Which is great. I needed that. I need it. So, let's get with some of the operations. I need it. So, let's get with some of the operations. So let's say we have 2 4/5, and we're going to add it to 1 1/3. Okay. You probably will see it either vertically or horizontally, no matter how they display it, no matter what, you're going to be adding. So we can do this one of 2 ways. And I always say, pick the way that best suits you. So one of the ways that I think a lot of people like to do is to change our mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay, so now follow along. We got 5 times 2, that gives me 10, plus 4 will give me 14, over my denominator, which is 5. Now for the next one, we have 3 times 1, that gives me 3, plus 1, that gives me 4, over 3. Okay. Now, if we notice, our denominators are not the same. So we need to get a common denominator. So we need to think, what number does the 3's times tables and the 5 times tables have in common? Okay, the least common multiple. All right. Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. So let's think. 3 times table and 5 times table. What do they have in common? Go ahead and put that in the chat. What do you think? Okay, so Francisca's telling me 15. Nellie's 15. Kaya, hey Kaya, 15. Oh, 15. Awesome creations. How are you? 15. Oh, 15. Awesome creations. How are you? 15. I love it. All right, so we're going to put a 15 here for the denominator and the 15 here for this denominator. Now, for us to convert this 3 to a 15, we needed to multiply by 5. And whatever we do in the denominator, we have to do in the numerator. So for this one up here, in order for me to change this 5 to a 15, I had to multiply by 3. And whatever I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator. So now, what's 14 times 3? Okay. Okay, awesome. Yeah, just have them message me through that. Message me through that. All right. Not 52. Got a little zealous. Okay, Gail's got 42. Rebecca's got 42. Oh, bring it back. A lot better. Oh, good. That's awesome. So it is going to be our 42. There we go. There we go. Because 4 times 3, that gave me my 2. And I carried the 1. So now 3 times 1 gives me 3 plus 1 will give me 4. Okay. So now for the numerator of the other one is 4 times 5. That will give me 20. So now that we have 42 plus 42 15ths plus 20 15ths, we're going to have that common denominator. So I'm going to put that in red. So we have our 42 15ths plus our 20 15ths. Our 42 15ths plus our 20 15ths. Remember, there's different ways of doing it, guys. I know people are like, why are we doing it this way? Because blah, blah. Stop. I like to show different ways. Some people like to do it so they can see it, they understand it. Remember, we all learn differently. Okay? We're not the same. We're not robots. So now we have our common denominator, which is 15, and then we're adding the numerators. So 42 plus 20, that will give me 62. There you go, Nellie. Thank you. 62 15ths. Hey, Lynette. Thank you. All right. There it is. Okay. So now we got this, what's called an improper fraction. The reason why it's called improper, not because it doesn't have an English accent, because my numerator is bigger than my denominator. It's like top heavy. It's almost, how should I put it? I'm trying to keep it culture. It's almost like someone lifting a lot and their top parts of their body is like massive and they got little sticks for legs. Yeah, like that. All right. Even it out, people. Even it out. Do a little bit of upper body, a little bit of do a little squats. Maybe get on the leg press a little bit once in a while. Change it up a little bit. Change it up. But proportions, people. Proportions. Okay? The way that we can get out of that 62 divided by 15 is to actually divide it. So if we have our 62, bringing the old school division back in our 15, now we need to think, how many 15s can go into 62 without going over? Okay, so I'm seeing a couple people with the 4s and the 4. Okay, because 15 times 4, that will give me 60. And then when I subtract 62 minus 60, that will give me 2. And this 2 is your remainder. Okay, so we're basically looking at, we have a whole number of 4 with a remainder of 2 out of what was our divisor, 15ths. I know, we went in a nice roundabout world of adding those two together. Now, so that's by changing it to improper fractions. I'm going to be truthful. Sometimes changing it to improper fractions does help. But sometimes, as you can see, it takes a bit, right? So doing the same problem, but doing it a different way. And I'm going to try to keep this one in black. All right. And remember, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. Even if you see something and you're like, I don't know, put a question mark, because that's also an answer as well. Okay. As long as we're doing some kind of activity. Now, same exact question. So we have our 2 activity. Now, same exact question. So we have our 2. Another way we can tackle it, let me zoom in just a hair. Okay, that was a lot. Here we go. Another way that we can tackle this is just focus on the fractions. You're like, what? I'm like, yes, just focus on the fractions. So I know they're in a really heavy committed relationship, but just let your man go for 5 seconds. All right. You know, he's not going to fly away. He's just going to the bathroom. Trust me. No one's not going to steal him or steal her. It's okay. So if we focus just on 4/5 plus 1/3, we know we can get a common denominator. And just like we said earlier, it'll be 15. The same thing that we're going to do, I need to multiply 5 to this 3 to get my 15. And I need to multiply this 5 by 3 to get that 15. So now we got 4 times 3, which gives us 12. So that's my new numerator for the top fraction. Then we have 1 times 5 to give me 5. So now all we are focusing on, let me cover this up because I know it can. So now all we are focusing on, let me cover this up because I know it can be overwhelming. Now all we're focusing on is adding the 12 and the 5. Isn't that a little bit easier than dealing with like 40? Is adding the 12 and the 5. Isn't that a little bit, just me. So if I wanted to add those two together, I'm going to have my 12 plus 5. That gives me 17 out of 15. So we're still going to get an improper fraction. But now you know that the person likes to lift, upper body, but the legs aren't sticks, got something to work with here, right? And pretty decently proportioned. But here's the thing. 17/15. You ever look at somebody and you're just like, there is something special within you, and I need to pull that out. I feel like a little Star Wars type thing. Let me pull out. Let me put the force. Let me use the force to pull something out. So I noticed that anytime it's an improper fraction, that means there is a whole number lurking within it. So if I may, I'm going to pull that whole number out. And that whole number is going to be my base of 15, or my denominator 15. 15 divided by 15, that will give me my whole number. So when I pull that whole number out, what's left? Okay, if I pull that whole number out, what's left? And then I'll go back to comments. I'm not ignoring you. I just have to go all over the place. Okay, so we have a 2. Okay, Elisa, good. 2 out of 15, good. 2/15, yes. So make it rain with the 2/15. 17 minus 15 gives me 2. And remember, with the common denominator, it stays. So this 2/15 is going to be part of our result. Okay. But that one that we pulled out, we need to add this one. I'm going to circle it. We're going to need to add this one to the whole numbers that we didn't combine yet. Let me unzoom just a tad. So this 1 to the whole numbers that we didn't combine yet. Let me unzoom just a tad so you can see what's going on. All right. So the one that we pulled, we need to take it back and add it with the whole numbers that we have. So 2 plus 1 gives me 3 plus 1 will give us our 4. So our answer will be 4 and 2/15. I don't know about you. I'm more than willing to show it again because this is a little less crazy compared to other lists. Okay? Kind of get to your answer a little bit. So again, if you focus on the fractions, find your common denominators, go ahead and combine them. Then you pull out the one whole that's there. So this is going to be the fraction that remains. This is this. And then the one whole that you pulled out, add it to your whole numbers. So you got your 1 plus 2 plus 1. That's where the 4 came from. Okay. All right. Let me get to the comments real quick. I'm so sorry. Just want to say you're so patient. Oh, thank you. Delightful impulse. I appreciate that. Remainder always goes on top. Yes, the remainder always goes above your divisor. Yes. All right. Then we got that. Where did you get the 1 to make it 4? No problem. So when we did our addition, after we found our common denominator, we got that 17/15. But then within that 17/15, there's a whole number in there. 15 out of 15. So 15, there's a whole number in there. 15 out of 15. So if I pull the 15 out of 15 out, the 215 remained, right? I think we got that part. But the whole number that we pulled out, we had to add to the other 2 whole numbers. So that's where that 1 came from. Yes. Well, thank you, Rebecca. I tried. AI, did that make sense? I love how I'm asking that question to AI. AI, did that make sense? Now, if they're going to say to simplify, Kaya, if they say simplified, that 17/15 is not going to work. Okay? And I can tell you, if you're going to be looking at your answer choices, majority of the time, they're always going to simplify it. Okay, yeah. If you were going for, even if you're going like for Praxis or any of those assessments that you have a brief constructed response where you have to show all your work, they're still going to want the simplified version of your answer. Because if not, you will go from, like, say it's a 2-point question. If you left it at 17/15, oh, thank you guys. You will get 1 point, but when you simplify it, you will probably get the full 2. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, Van. Appreciate it. But can it change anytime, like, where there'll be times where I need to add, or it's not a thing? No, it's not going to change. Like, once you pull it out, keeping it clean, you're just going to add it to your whole numbers. So you're not going to go back and forth, back and forth. It's just like once you basically subtract that whole number out, it's done. You don't have to put it back in and all that stuff. That gets crazy. All right. Yes, period. Yes. On Fridays, I do go live at 1. I go live at 1. All right. Yes, we're going to do another problem. Of course. I got a whole list. And I'm like, I can actually go probably like to 2:30 today. So it might be just adding, subtracting today. And then on tomorrow's live, I'll probably just finish up with the multiplying and dividing. I know, I always overshoot. Always do. All right, so while you guys are here, there's 130, oh, sorry, I lied, 138 of you. If we can tap, can we tap to like 5K? Like do a quick mad tap? Made you come back, didn't it? She's like, what is she talking about? TikTok should shut this woman down. She's dangerous. TikTok should shut this woman down. She's dangerous. Oh, stop it. It's just Audrey. All right. Let me put this on a clean. I really hope that this is something that's going to be beneficial to you guys. Maybe you just need to clean your mental palate from all the craziness of the day and you just wanted to see some simple math. Hey, that's awesome. Okay? Definitely want that. I know I got you, John. They're like, oh, wait. Got scandalous. Yes. All right. Such filthy-minded people. I love it. You are my people. Such filthy-minded people. I love it. You are my people. All right. So, let me see. I could probably fit in right about here. I can do that. Okay, we're trying to get to 5K and then I'll get started on the next couple ones. All right, just want to make sure. I think TikTok tried to pause me. Like, cool your heels, lady. All right, almost there, guys. Almost there. Let's see if we can get like one more addition one. It did freeze up? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yay. All right. Thank you. All right, so here is one. Let's say we have 3 and 2/35. She's like, what? Does that actually exist? Yes, it does. And then we're going to add that to 2 and 5/7. All right. So, as a suggestion, here's my thing. Once I see a rather large denominator, and I know I'm going to have to multiply that 35 to that 3, I'm going to be dealing with large numbers, right? No, we're not doing that. So let's pull aside the fractions. So we have the 2 and 35ths, and I'm just going to give a little bit of space so it looks like a number 5 and the 7ths. What do you think my common denominator should be? Put that in the chats. Okay. Oh, it's your favorite subject? Oh, good. Okay. So Van's saying 35. Hey, Pog, saying 35. Welcome on in, everyone. Okay. So Chef is saying 5. We're not talking about the GCF. Well, actually, it can't be the GCF. But we're going to be doing something with the 5. So Isaiah is saying 35. Hey, Belle, hey. So not the GCF. We're actually looking for the lowest common multiple or lowest common denominator for this one. So what in the 35 times table as well as in the 7 times table do they have in common? Okay, you see it now? All right, good. All right, so we're looking at 35. Okay, because if I pulled out the 35 times table, you have your 35 and your 70, and I'm going to stop right there because in the 7 times table, you have like your 7, your 14, your 21, and then you get up to 35. So 35 is the lowest number that both the 35 times table and the 7 times table have in common, okay? So since this top fraction already have a 35 in the denominator, we could just scooch that 2 right on over, okay? We don't have to do anything to it. We don't have to multiply to it. But this 1 in the denominator, we need to multiply by what? This is when you say your 5. So if I multiply my denominator by 5, whatever I do in the denominator, I have to do in the numerator. There we go. Right? Awesome, King. That's what I'm saying. Okay? So now 5 times 5, that gives me my 25. And let me remind myself that we are adding. Okay, so now we have a common denominator. We have our 2 and 35, and we have our 25 over 35, or 25 35ths. Since we have a common denominator, all we have to do is add the numerators. What would I get as a ratio? Hello, Jacinda. Welcome back. Okay. So Kai is saying 27 35ths. Jacinda says 27 35ths. Okay, Nicole saying 27 35ths. Drop that question mark, girl. You got this. I'm well. Survived another week. Happy August, everyone. Like, what happened? I remember 4th of July and then everything was a blur. Jeez. Michael, not sure? Okay. Well, thank you for your honesty. Deb, 27 35ths. Good. Abel, 27 35ths. Good. Okay. 69, obviously. Not always, obviously. All right. So we have our keeping our 35 in our denominator. And then we have our 27 is our numerator. Keeping our 35 in our denominator. And then we have our 27 is our numerator. Okay. So now, if you look, we don't have an improper fraction. Okay, someone that works out up top, okay, but he really does a lot. Like, he's committed to leg day, like just straight committed, okay? So this is like a proper fraction. So when it comes to the whole numbers, we don't have a whole number inside here that we have to use the force to pull out, okay? All we're going to do now is combine our whole numbers. So 3 plus 2 will give me 5. Slide over here. So we have our 5. And then the fraction that we got, which is our 27 35ths. Okay. Yep, I know. Oh, you start in 4 weeks? Okay. I have some kiddos that's starting next week. Crazy. Okay. That's your go-to? It's like, I tried. I know you did. It was cute. All right. So this is going to be your final answer right here. You know, because right now the 27 and the 35, they don't really have anything in common to reduce. Yeah. No, you forgot. It's Fridays. Because on Fridays I can go at 1 o'clock. That's the only day that I can go at 1. I know, everyone's so used to me at night. Audrey after dark. Reminds me of BE. Audrey after dark. Reminds me of BET After Dark back in the day. Some crazy stuff. Everyone's talking about Madonna's, what was that one video that Madonna did? And everyone's like, oh my God, it was so ridiculous. It's so risque. I was like, dark. Nope. Oh no. Yeah. Don't give kids time to enjoy the summer. They can enjoy the summer. I'm not taking their whole summer away. You know, you got an hour. That's it. This is the only time I have time to do this stuff. Because all tonight, it's all about getting these notebooks situated. Notebooks, workbooks, just working. All right. Okay. So now, let's see if we can get a little subtraction going on here. Because we got like roughly 45 minutes left. So let's see if we can do a little bit of subtraction. See what will go on. So let's try this one. So if we have, I'm going to do it this way, 6 3/7 minus 2 2/9. Summer break is overrated. I don't even call it a break. I just call it a moment. Because sometimes it's just so short. And then, God forbid, if you're a teacher that worked over the summer, it's craziness. Okay. Okay. Oh, crazy early start to the school year. Yeah. I don't know why my lives. No. I know, it really is. It's just a moment. All right. So, first thing, we need a common denominator. So right now, the 6 and the 2, we're going to leave that alone for right now. Just for right now. But if I have my 7s, I'm going to do it this way. I kind of like it vertically. All of a sudden, I got a spike of new people. Like, she likes it vertically. What? And everybody just start running in here. Jesus, is everyone all horned up? What's going on? All right, so 7 and 9. 7 and 9. What do they have in common? What is it that they have in common? So this is going to be something you got to think about. Okay, Pog is saying 63, common denominator 49. Let's see, what other numbers? Okay, they're both odd, that's true. But they do have a number in common, as there's World War III outside of my home. Swear. So we got 63. David's got 63. Oh, Jesus joined. Hey, Jesus. All All right, I'm trying to trust the path, Lord. I'm trying. All right, so yes, 63. Yes, not 49. There we go. Okay, so it is going to be 63, because if you think of the 7 times table and the 9 times table, the only number that they have in common is 63. So, just like we mentioned earlier, through multiplication, so if I multiply 9 to 7, that will give me my 63. If I multiply whatever I do in the denominator, I have to do in the numerator. So my new numerator for the second equation is going to be 14, the numerator. So my new numerator for the second equation is going to be 14, 9. And whatever I do in the denominator, I'm also going to do in the numerator. Okay. Yes, they are. Hey, Janice, how are you? Yes, they are. It's annoying. Especially yesterday they turned the water off for all day. From 9 a.m. to, at least they gave us a heads up. So I was able to do all the stuff I needed to do before. But from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., no water. Not even air. Nothing. Anywho, so now we have a common denominator. Okay. So since we have a common denominator, got our 63. So now we're going to do 27 minus 14. So what do I get when I get 27 minus 14? Deb is saying 4 and 13/63. That's our final answer. Oh, thanks for the gift. How many people finding friends in here? So 27 minus 14, 7 minus. How many people finding friends in here? So 27 minus 14, 7 minus 4, that gives me 3. 2 minus 1, that gives me 1. So we have our 13/63. But do not forget the whole numbers. So you have your 6 minus 2, that will give us our 4. Okay. Hello, Big Al. Big Al. What grade is this? This is roughly around, I want to say 5th or 6th. Or no, 3rd or 4th for Maryland. No, I lied. Not 3rd. Jesus. Unless you're a genius. Like 4th or 5th. Yep, 4th or 5th. Yep. Now, this is one thing that I want to mention, especially with the subtraction. So let's say we're going to subtract 1 3/4 from 3/16. So not 3/16, 3 1/6. So 3 1/6 minus 1 3/4. Minus 1 3/4. Okay. So we're trying to subtract these two. Instead of doing your improper, or you can just focus just on the fractions. Oh, thank you. We're a family of math learners. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. All right, so we have our 1/6 and our 3/4. What would be our common denominator? What would be our common denominator? Big Al saying 12. Okay. Big Al saying 12. Okay, we agree? Okay. Remember, there isn't a 6 in the 4 times table. Okay, so we got our 12s, we got our 12s, we got our 12s. All right, so we have this as a 12, we have this as a 12. In order to get those numerators, this one I'm going to multiply by 3. That gives me a 9. And this one we're going to multiply by 2. Now, what's wrong? Let me cover this part up so you can focus. So remember, we're subtracting these. What's wrong? Yes, Pog. Okay. Yes. Okay, the top number, basically, this top fraction, okay, the numerator is lower than its denominator. So it's not going to be as a smooth, easy transition like we had over here when we had the 27 minus 14. That's perfectly fine. But over here, we got to change some things around. We're going to need to, as I would like to say, borrow. Okay, we're going to need to borrow from this, the whole number from this fraction. So since it was 1/6 originally, okay, we got the 1/6. So the whole number, this 3, we need to borrow 12 out of 12. Okay, we need to borrow 1 whole from the whole number in order for us to subtract these 2 fractions. So what we're going to do is we're going to take away the one of them. So we're going to leave a 2 here, but we're going to do the equivalent of that whole. Remember, the denominator is 12. So that means we need 12 out of 12. Okay. When we do that, we have a common denominator, which is 12, and we just have to add the numerators. So that will give us 14 out of 12. Okay, are we good so far? So what's going to happen, this 9/12, I'm just going to bring it over. So it's minus 9/12. Now, I can subtract these a lot better. So much better, right? So now, our 14 minus 9, that gives us our 5/12. But then, with the whole numbers, we don't have 3 anymore, it's a 2. So 2 minus 1, that gives me 1. Okay, so with the subtraction, we do have to keep that in mind. We can't combine when this top one is less than, its numerator is lower than the numerator down here, okay? This has to be higher. So what you're going to have to do is borrow from its said whole number, which was the 3. We made it into a 2. And then we had to add that whole number to this fraction. Okay, hey Robert. Okay, I know there was a little extra movement with this, but that's something to be careful of, because I know if we just keep going, we're like, all right, cool. We got 2, all right, -7, and then you look at your answers, you're like, why is my answer not here? Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can do a couple more. All right, how are you guys doing? Man, you guys really know each other. You know he's on vacation. Next, blood type. Aw, like you said, you guys are family. Woo. Hey, Austin, how are you? Well, we know who to go to if we need a kidney. This puzzle piece. Oh, psych. Ooh. I might have to end my live a little shorter. Right now, it's telling me that I need to, but they're not showing the verification. All right. Wait, hold on. Give me one moment, Big Al. I see your question. Okay, there we go. All right, that was heartbreaking for a second. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yep, you are in the in crowd. Okay, so you never have to get the LCD when adding and subtracting fractions. You do need the LCD. It's when you're multiplying, dividing, you don't. Okay, when you're multiplying, you're dividing, you do not. Sorry, shifted all the way over there. Yeah, because you always need a common denominator. Okay, Deb is saying 1 1/8. John, a little too big. There is something else that 8 and 2 in their times table that they both have in common that's lower. When we had the 9 12s, the reason why I had to change the 2 12s because 2 12s was lower than the 9 12s. So I had to beef up the 2 12s so it can have a larger numerator so I can do that subtraction. But I didn't have to do it for both. I just needed it especially for the numerator so I could subtract. There you go. So we got our 8s, yes. All right, so we're just focusing on the 5/8 and the 1/2. So the denominator that we're looking for is 8. So that means the first fraction could stay exactly the way it is because we didn't have to do anything. Okay, not a problem. All right. Okay, not a problem. All right. So then down here, in order for the 2 to change to an 8, we had to multiply it by 4. If you multiply the denominator by 4, multiply the numerator by 4. Okay, so now we have 5/8 minus 4/8 minus 4/8, which gives us 1/8. Okay, so we didn't have to borrow because the 5 is larger than the 4. Okay, I know my TikTok is doing something weird. But then we have to subtract the 9 minus 8, which gives us our 1. Okay. There you go. Good. Nice. Good job, Morty. Good job, Big Al. Good job, John, Michael, Janice. Good job, everyone. Okay? So, no more being fearful of mixed numbers. Okay? I don't care how many people are here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys wanting to learn something a little new. You probably have been doing mixed numbers your whole entire time, which you can. But my thing is now you're dealing with larger numbers and it can get overwhelming. Okay? Am I saying that you can't do that? No, I'm not. Because when you look at any of these standardized tests, they just want to know your process. Okay, they just want to take a look at your process. Oh, thanks for the gifts, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. All right, not a problem. Where the top whole number is smaller. Another one of those? Sure. Give me a moment. Let's see. Okay, let's give this one a try. All right, so let's say 10 and 3/4 minus 6 and 4/5. Okay. So right now, just focusing on, where'd my little piece of paper go? Here it is. Just focusing on the fractions. So that's a little less daunting. Here we go. Okay, we're just focusing on the fractions. So we need to have a common denominator. What is, you usually don't have negative answers. That's why we're doing the borrowing. So we don't have a negative answer. Yeah, for these types, they try to keep it more elementary. Okay, hey Lisa. All right, so we are changing our denominators to 20s. So that means it's going to be 4 times 5. Whatever I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator. And this one will be 5 times 4. Whatever I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator. So this 3 times 5, that gives me 15. And the 4 times 4, that gives me 16. Okay, so this is where it's going to come in, Big Al. So the numerator of this first fraction is lower than the numerator of that second. So because of that, I won't be able to subtract this, because if I subtract it, I'm going to get a negative 1/20. No, okay? So why not go back to our original? Instead of having a 10, what we're going to do is we're going to borrow from this 10. We're going to make it a 9. And we're going to multiply the equivalent of what 1 would be. Since we need a not multiply. Ooh, what am I doing? Adding. There we go. Adding. So we need a common denominator of 20. So that means that 1 whole that we borrowed from this 10 is going to be represented as 20 out of 20. Okay, there you go, Big Al. All right, so then that means over here, my denominator is still 20, but then we have 15 plus 20. So that will give me 35. So I'm going to take this 35 and I'm going to subtract, go here. I'm going to take this 35/20 and I'm going to subtract the 16/20. Okay. We're going to keep that denominator, which is 20, but we're going to subtract the 35 and the 16. Yes, so if we borrow here, this is a 2, this will be a 15. So yes, so if we borrow here, this is a 2, this will be a 15. So we got ourselves a 19. Okay, so because that's going to be a 19/20, now we're going to come back to the whole numbers. We don't have a whole number to pull out. The only pulling out that comes is the addition. Okay? For the subtraction, you're borrowing. For the addition, you're going to pull a whole out. Okay? So now we have 9 minus 6. That will give us our 3. And this is your final answer. Okay. So 9 and 19/20. Yes. All right. Good, good. Oh, thank you, Miss Kickbutt. Thank you. Austin, yes. All right, Big Al. Good. All right. How are we feeling? Are we feeling better about this? Do we feel like we can conquer the world? Because we know how to add and subtract mixed numbers. Okay. All right. Hopefully you can. Cool. Yes. So no more intimidation. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to get to that point with no more intimidation. Let me see if I can. I think I can slide multiplication and division in here. I think we can do it. I think we can. All right, so let me set myself up for multiplication. Okay, you guys keep on tapping. I'm gonna try. Actually, I'll give that to a page. And I'll think of something else for tomorrow night. Oh, hello, why is it so blurry? There we go. I'm doing okay. So when I borrow the 1 from the whole number, how did it become 20 over 20? not 16/20ths. Okay. Because since we're adding, oh, hello, there we go. Since we're adding a whole number to this fraction, you're not just adding 1 over 1, because we need to have a common denominator. So even if we brought the 1 over here, that means we will have 1 over 1. In order for us to add these two together, I need a common denominator. So that's why I had to make it 20 over 20. Because I'm adding this whole to that, I need to have a common denominator. Okay. All right, Brittany, does that make sense? So that's why it's not 16 out of 20. It has to be the representation of 1 out of 1. Okay, all right, cool. Yay. Well, hello. How are you, sir? How'd you do in your test? I haven't heard anything. It's more comfortable if I convert it to improper. That's perfectly fine. Hey, Silver Fox, I said that earlier. You kind of missed it a little bit. That's fine. Because we did that for the very first one. And this was our adventure with that. And you get the same answer. So whatever makes you feel comfortable, do that. Okay? Please, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Passed? All right. Well, you ain't going to tell me? I was supposed to guess? Well, congratulations. Proud of you. All right. So let's see if we can get some multiplication going on in here and maybe some division. That would be kind of cool. So thank you so much for the taps and the loves. I appreciate it. So if we have, let's say, I think it's best if I do it this way. If I have 2 1/5 times, and I hate using, I'm going to use a dot. I'm not using the X. I refuse. Okay. And then you have your 2 5/8. Do with this. It's like 1 minute it's going to rain, next minute it's not going to rain. So I feel like my light keeps going in and out. Okay, so as we're doing this is the best thing about multiplying and dividing. We do not have to have a common denominator, okay? We don't need it. But what we can do to make our lives so much easier is to change from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So we have 5 times 2, that gives me 10, plus the 1 will give me the 11. So 11 over 5. Okay, we're still doing multiplication. Doing exactly the same thing on the other side. So 8 times 2, that gives me 16. 16 plus 5, that gives me 21 over 16 plus 5, that gives me 21 over 8. It's always over your original denominator. Okay? Thank you. Okay, cool. Your original denominator. Okay? Thank you. Okay, cool. Since we're doing multiplication, always, and I do mean always, always, and I do mean always, check to see if you can cross simplify. If there is a number that you can cross simplify, do it. Okay? Makes your life so much easier. But in this case, we don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So 11 times 21. Yep, nothing can be reduced or canceled. I know. It's like my life. You think you got something, and then you're like, oh. But it could be, oh, no. Okay. All right. So 11 times 21 to 31 over 40. Okay, yes. So when you're multiplying, always try to do, I think they call it the butterfly effect. Oh, Big Al's got it right there. Always try to do, I think they call it the butterfly effect. Oh, Big Al's got it right there. There you are. Okay, so we got 2 back into mixed numbers. So the only way we can change this back into a mixed number is if we're actually divided out. So we can change this back into a mixed number is if we're actually divided out. So